Hey guys, I'll be in Nagano for the next 2 days and I'll be bringing you along. Despite the gloomy weather, I think there'll be some amazing views. We'll be trying out some of the local cuisine and also doing some fun activities. So if that's your kind of thing, definitely stick around and I hope you enjoy it. First quick stop is Saku City's Inat Shrine, which is well known in the area. It's about 1,000 years old and has 130 red torii gates and also tons of stairs. You can hear the waterfall nearby, so that's quite nice. It's nice to have a little glimpse of the local shrine. We had this place all to ourselves as we walked through to get to the observatory. One thing that you don't see behind the videos is having to lug all of our suitcases up the stairs. I'm so glad that I packed relatively light. We are at the top of Mount Inari Park, Cosmo Observation Deck. I climbed about 100 stairs and here we get a beautiful panoramic view. On a good day, you're supposed to be able to see the Japanese Alps quite clearly, so it's quite a nice view. I do think it's cute that this place is in the shape of a rocket. It's pretty playful and I like that it's tucked away in the mountains. We'll be eating lunch at Big Ben, which is a very popular Japanized Western restaurant that specializes in mushiri, which is roasted chicken cooked with a local sauce. It's served together with salad, rice, and miso soup. It was so delicious and the portions were absolutely huge. This is the place that I am the most excited to show you guys. I'm going to be staying here at Kurabito Stay, which also happens to be a sake brewery, which is a first for me. Let me go and give you a little room tour. Here is the Japanese-styled lounge area, where there's 24/7 access to sake on tap, souvenirs, and a large community table. And upstairs is where all the rooms are. Number 5 is mine for tonight. Getting in, you have to duck down because the door is quite low. They have a beautiful futon laid out for me. Besides that, there's not that much else to show you because it's quite small. This is perfect. I don't think I've ever been so excited to be in a small wooden box like this before. So excited to stay here tonight. Of course, because this is a sake brewery slash hotel, we're going to have the chance to brew our own sake and get involved in the process. And to start off, we have to change into this cute little t-shirt. I'm going to get changed into that now and let's get started. Kurabito Stay offers a 2-day program where guests can get a hands-on sake making experience. To start off, we changed into our uniforms, took off all of our jewelry and tied up our hair, and then we sanitized our shoes before changing into rubber boots. This is Mr. Ide, the president of Kitsukura Brewery, who will be teaching us today. The first step is to wash the rice thoroughly for about 4 minutes per batch, which was a total arm workout. The rice is then drained and rinsed and soaked for about 20 minutes to absorb water, and then it's drained once again and covered with a cloth to dry overnight. We'll be continuing the rest tomorrow. In the meantime, we experienced an extra activity, which was the process of picking out all the impure grains or unwanted debris from the previous batches, but apparently it's extremely rare to spot any. Just wrapped up at the brewery and I got to see the process of how sake is made, and that was pretty interesting. But to be completely honest, I'm not that much of a sake drinker, but I'm always interested in learning about the process, so I had a lot of fun. Now we are going to head off to dinner. We'll be dining at Lemon, which is only about an 8-minute walk from the hotel. They serve Japanese dishes made from seasonal and local ingredients. Kurabito Stay actually partners up with many local restaurants and facilities in the area to support each other, including this one, and I just love that community vibe. Not to mention, the food was incredible. Tomorrow will be pretty labor intensive, so we'll head back to the hotel and get some rest. At 7 AM, this lovely 84-year-old granny prepared us a very traditional and nutritious breakfast. I love homemade food, and it may look relatively small in portion, but it was deceivingly filling. Everyone was totally stuffed. I knew I had to include this because it looks really funny when it's sped up, but here we are doing Rajio Taiso, which is a really simple exercise routine that's been around for decades. Continuing on from yesterday, we pour the now dried rice into this barrel and spread it out to prepare for steaming. This part was pretty easy and smoothing it out was quite satisfying. Then it steamed for 1 hour. After it was steamed, we were able to taste test it, and as you can see, I made multiple attempts to pick it up, but it was still burning hot. It tasted fresh and the texture was chewy and a little tacky, but in a good way. This part is more labor intensive. We have to scoop up the hot rice and carry it in a barrel on our shoulder over to this, what looks like a vacay beach bed. We pour the rice on and then spread it out with a wooden spatula to cool it down. After it gets its very well-deserved rest, we carry it to a hot room where we lay it out and spread it evenly again to begin the fermentation process using koji. Koji is a type of mold that's used as a fermentation starter.
これがお米の上に着床して2日間経つと真っ白な麹になるということになります。
After it's been sprinkled with koji, we let it rest for 5 minutes in silence with no movement, and then we mix it by hand. This step is repeated about 3 times, and this was definitely the most labor-intensive step in the entire process, especially when it was done in a very hot room. And I'm not gonna lie, it was getting a little sweaty in there. Lastly, we measure the temperature until it drops to about 35 degrees, roll it all together, and then wrap it up with a giant cloth. The rest of the process is done by staff, which are the parts that take many weeks to complete. Just to give you a bit more of a visual explanation, the highlighted part is what we have done as part of the experience, and the underlined parts are completed by the staff. That's it for the brewing experience. We're going to get ready to check out and move on to lunch and go cycling. The weather is looking a little bit better. I mean, it's still gloomy, but at least it's not pouring with rain like it was this morning and yesterday. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll take you guys along. At the end of the experience, we were awarded with a cute little certificate of completion, and we were kindly given some gifts to take home. I think my parents will really appreciate this. For lunch, we're going to Torichu Shokudo, and they have a variety of different dishes, so I'm really looking forward to getting something to eat. This old, local restaurant really felt like a cozy home. The staff were so friendly and they made us feel so welcome, and this homey food is just what we needed for our upcoming cycle. I will jump at any opportunity to cycle, especially in a non-city area where you don't have to worry so much about people or cars. And we also got the chance to use electric bikes, so that made getting around and going up hills way easier than usual. I love rural areas like this that have a lot of rice paddocks because it really reminds me of my grandma's area. We've come across this beautiful little shrine. It's kind of dark, but I think that kind of adds to this vibe. It's a little bit eerie, to be honest, with all these really tall trees and with how dark it is. It's very serene. There's no one here, it's just us. This shrine, Shinkai Sansha, is 1,000 years old, and it's actually referenced in the movie Your Name by Makoto Shinkai, who also grew up in this area. You might recognize this scene from the film, and I thought this was really cool. It was a lovely way to wrap up our cycling trip. So that's a wrap for this trip. Just as we're heading back to the Shinkansen to go back to Tokyo, the sun did come out. I'm glad I got to see it before we leave. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much to Kurabito Stay for having us. This was such a wonderful and memorable experience. If you're looking for a unique place to stay in Japan, consider this sake brewery. They are so passionate about what they do, and we're so excited to share their culture with us. It's also a really great way to explore beyond the usual tourist spots, as it helps battle over-tourism by supporting local experiences. Plus, I made some new friends during this group adventure. I'll put the link in the description, so be sure to check it out for your next trip. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.